over recent years, housing delivery in Salford has been done at scale. And over the last 5 years, we've delivered around 15,000 new homes across the city. Success to date has been enabled through our public and private sector partnerships, and that's something that we want to continue and remain with moving forward. And it's strengthened partnerships. It's got Salford where it is to date, but more fundamentally where we need to go in the future in meeting local needs and the needs of our residents and communities moving forward.
Although we've had some good news overnight really with the planning reform bill, the big issue is not so much from a North West perspective planning certainty and the performance of the planning departments, it's viability. So the biggest challenge of all is making sure that we get full-blown long-term assistance from government, from Homes England and others to really solve those viability challenges, because the pipeline is good in the North West and in GM, but it's viability that we often come up against as the biggest problem rather than the speed of planning permission per se.
I think the ambition from the government to put that on the table in terms of supply of 1.5 million homes was bold and perhaps audacious. I think the challenge that's going to come with that is you can create the supply, but actually how do we change the demand market? So I think the government has to be pretty radical in terms of how it can very quickly create demand.
We've got clear strategic plans for growth across Greater Manchester and all the other 10 local authorities. And so we just need government to back our investment that's required, that goes beyond just investment for new homes. That's focused on investment that's required in infrastructure in terms of transport, as well as social infrastructure, and in creating new neighbourhoods and places for everyone to live in Greater Manchester.
The partnership has got to be strong between the public authorities, the regional authority and the government, but it's also got to be ultra strong with the private sector and with our registered provider partners. And that's been key to a lot of the delivery track record for us in Manchester and in GM over the years, is making sure that the partnership between the public and private sector and the RPs is very, very strong. So long may that continue.
For us to overcome the challenges, I think we've got to work really hard. I think we've got to, as an industry and all the different industries that support us, we've got to be bold. We've got to think differently and we've got to work together. There are some great examples of partnerships, and those partnerships will deliver what we need to do over the course of the next 5 years.
The main takeaway today has been that still huge optimism throughout the Greater Manchester region, and there's still a lot of challenges and significant challenges that need to be addressed, but I think through the right different approaches that we set up in Greater Manchester, through looking at thinking about differently about delivery capability and innovative solutions actually to how we can unlock more challenging sites is something that I think Greater Manchester is more than capable in doing and taking forward.
What we need to make sure we continue to do is to really strengthen that collaboration across both, and I think give a really compelling proposition that government and Homes England can invest with us on a bigger footprint and for a longer period of time across Greater Manchester. And residential growth being so important to the delivery of our growth ambitions for the city region means I think we're pole positioned to help government to deliver that mission growth, particularly through residential growth and satisfying that residential demand, but not losing sight of our social and affordable contributions that we need to make in the market.
As the Yorkshire contingent on the panel today, very proud to represent Yorkshire. I think today there was the like-minded people in the room have just had some great conversations following the panel. And actually, if everybody in this room was to get together, we can probably really do what I said earlier and work hard and create extraordinary outcomes.